What's going on, everybody? I'm Frick,
And I'm FRaCK.
and this is Anisah, who should look very familiar. She was in our last episode, and Liz, an awesome student of GameU, and this is Push to Accelerate. Welcome, ladies. How are you?
All good. Good.
That's good. Thank you for joining us. So as I had already said, Anisah was on a previous episode, and you heard all of her amazing resume and what brought her to GameU as an instructor. So we won't be redundant. Instead, we'll just ask Liz a little bit about yourself. Tell us what brought you to GameU and what you hope to learn here and what you already have.
So, brought me to GameU was at first I really wanted to work on video games, and I was working on that with one of my first teachers, Clint, and then I realized all the math that went into it, and that sort of threw me off a little bit because math is not really my forte. But I tried it, and I started to get it. So that was good. I worked in Unity for a while, and then Clint had to leave, and so I decided to go a different route, and I wanted to create my own video characters and things like that.
Awesome.
And so I switched to Photoshop, and now Anisah is teaching me how to use Photoshop to its full extent.
Absolutely, and as we saw in the previous episode, Anisah is very good at 2D art and
Anisah didn't even teach me that.
So it's great. So you kind of get two different instructors and two different specialties, angles. We talk about all the time. Our students and our instructors all have different passions and different talents and different abilities, and it's really cool. As a whole, our company is covered, but as individuals, where some of us are good at something, some of us are not. I'm not good at math at all. I want to learn coding really bad. I just don't know. Can. But So Anthony, did you want to ask Liz anything?
Yeah, what video games do you play?
Oh, so many. I still have my PlayStation 2. I still have the Nintendo. Well, I got a Nintendo 64 a while ago at a pawn shop, and it works.
Oh,
Yeah, I love classic games. That's the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mario Kart and stuff. You like all those games?
Mario Kart is actually really. It's not bad. It's like $25 for Mario Kart.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I don't have Mario Kart yet.
Yeah.
But I do have this old game called Rampage.
Oh, Rampage, yes. That's one with the dinosaur and stuff, right? With the
The dinosaur,
the buildings and stuff, yeah.
the rat, and the gorilla. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to play that all the time.
Yeah.
We've been playing since we were like 4 years old or something. It's good. It's bad and it's good. So that's awesome. So let's dive right into it. Liz, would you like to show us some of the things you've been learning with Anisah, some of the art you've been working on in Photoshop?
Yeah. So
Anthony, what's up, man?
So
this is some of my work.
Wow.
So the first one that says "I am Tanny" was for a friend. Got $20 from that. So Tanny is actually based off of a actual dog. So, but they added it into a story, and so they wanted it made into a character. So I was like, okay, I can do that.
Absolutely can. That's amazing.
Really clever. Wow, yeah.
Yeah. So, my style changes a lot when I do art. It's really, I don't know. My friends call me like a mimic, like, because they'll send me an image and say, "Can you make something that looks like that?" And then I'll sort of like do it in that style.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one next to Tanny is like a version of me as a Sailor Moon character.
It's really neat.
Nice.
I'm not too familiar with Sailor Moon, but I know the style and stuff, and that's spot on. That's really
Thank
cool.
you. Yeah, the hair was actually the one of the most was the hardest part.
Right.
So, like, you've never seen a Sailor Moon character with like frizzy hair, really. So it's like that was the hardest part. And I'm not really that great at shading, so I had to look at other pictures for all the shading that I did on that one.
Liz is very humble too. We like that.
Yeah, I know.
It is so She's all so amazing. This was actually
we all have our techniques.
challenges.
Yeah. Sailor Moon was part of a challenge. I made a list of what was it? A list of like characters that I really like, and I was gonna do my character in all the different art styles.
Right.
So I had a list of like 10 different art styles.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's awesome. And you just really started with this art stuff when Anisah came along, or were you working at all?
I mean, when I was younger, I worked with like Corel Draw and stuff like that.
Right.
But I didn't have a tablet or anything. I worked with a mouse and then a trackpad.
That's awesome. I mean, this is. I would guess that you've been doing this for 20 years. This is really awesome.
But then, yeah. So the picture of the mermaid, I was doing for another client.
Right.
But she sort of broke contract.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I don't like when that happens.
So I actually had done like 2 of them. I liked this one better. So it was just like, I chose this one to show you guys, but it was just like, she wanted 4 different mermaids that looked all different.
Oh.
And then she wrote contract, and I was like, I'm not doing the rest of them. And he was just like, okay, fine. And she's just like, she's never spoken to me again. But I was like, that's fine.
Okay. We're your new friend.
Yay.
You should put something in your contract where if they break contract, FRaCK call them and they tell them like really corny like dad jokes or something. You know.
We'll have prank podcast episodes where we prank all of your enemies.
That would be great.
Prank all of your enemies.
Yes. And then the last picture is more like a collage. I like they're a K-pop band called BTS. I don't know if you've heard of them or anything, but they're actually really, really big, and they've been going for 6 years. They actually just went on hiatus because they've been working really hard for 6 years.
They're on hiatus? Yes. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But it was just like the youngest member started when he was 15 years old and has never gotten a break since. And so, and the oldest member in like 2 years or so is joining the Korean Army, the South Korean Army. And because they have this law that when you reach a certain age, you have to join and do a certain number of years.
Right. Wow.
And that's why they're going on hiatus right now. But back to the piece itself, my friend wanted something for her phone.
Right.
And she's like, do something that's purple themed. And I was like, okay. So I just went on Pinterest.
Yeah. It's a perfect phone background, yeah. That's awesome.
Because it's really easy to do backgrounds and stuff, especially when you're using Photoshop, because you can choose what kind of phone size and everything.
It's neat.
Yeah. So I really liked that. And she has an Android, and I'm not used to working with Android and things like that. I work with Mac and Apple and whatever. So getting the size right and everything was really tough. So
I bet. Oh, that's really awesome. This is unbelievable art. I mean, I'm sure Anisah is both happy and intimidated at the same time.
Oh god, this stuff love is actually like amazing, and I'm so proud of her for reaching out and getting commissions.
Oh
I,
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, so she is actually looking at the business aspect of this, and hopefully, her commission business explodes so she can like make more art and make it while getting paid, which is such an important thing because
Oh yeah.
people are like they don't want to pay artists. And which is terrible because they're like, well, you're just drawing, you're doing what
Right.
you like. Why do we have
Yeah.
to pay you? And it's like, no,
Do you want to bring you guys back on camera for the last
yes,
minutes,
Sure.
guys? Because we're listening to what you're saying, but it would just. But no, you're so right. I mean, it's so great that she's doing, something that she loves to do, and she's getting
that
paid
your
for
bird?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was her bird.
it's my
There is
birthday.
a quote, and I don't know exactly who said it, but it's something that like find what you love and do something that you would do. You love it so much you do it for free, but do it so well that you get paid for it. And I think this is kind of you love what you're doing, both of you, and we love what we're doing, and we're getting paid to talk about art and video games and prove all adults wrong that said there is no money to be had in video games industry. It's pretty awesome. Thank you very much for both. Well, you know what? Really quick, Anisah said what she loves about Liz just there, but Liz, why don't you tell us before we go one thing that you love about Anisah?
Well, when I first started, like, I'm usually not very comfortable with my teachers because I don't know them well. But I really clicked with you, like,
Oh, yeah.
really, really quickly, and I feel
Yay.
so comfortable working with her.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was awesome. Day
Yeah.
one, we were like talking
Yeah.
about Toho and Vocaloid, and Clint's like,
Yes.
I don't know what this is, what anime is that? We're like, dude, it's not an anime.
It's not anime.
Uh-uh.
Don't dive into it because
Clint's like, I think I can leave now. I think
Yeah.
I think you guys are in good hands. No, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both so much for being on, and let's definitely do this again, Liz. And see as you make more artwork, and we'll be on with Anisah again too. So, ladies, thank you very much. FRaCK, would you like to have any parting words of wisdom?
We'll be back.
All right, ladies, have a great day, and keep up the great work, both of you. Okay.
Thank you guys.
Bye.